Okay, have another 20 minutes, although I said that last time. It turned out to be an hour. We're right at the point where Tsugumi chews the kid out in a rather cruel fashion in the original game. I wonder if that'll happen exactly the same way here or not. So I'm sliding something over, and I have to expand my capture box, do all this stuff. Well, do your thing. What did I do? Did I accidentally open V10? No, sorry, I gotta fix this. I'll be back. Okay, got working a second time, but that is really interesting that V7 just did the bad thing that V10 tended to do, because it did not accidentally open V10. That was V7. Very interesting. Anyway, um, that sounds like it's not an OCR problem. It sounds like it's a translator problem to me. The image of the room overlaps with the scene before my eyes. Right? It's over like the scene of the injury that Tsugumi gets overlaps with this image of the room. So that is where we are, where it happens, basically.
少年大丈夫か少年
So, boy, are you okay, boy? Or young person? I stepped back to my senses when he shook. What? He jiggled his love handles? Okay, so it's I presume that the kanji that this is misread as means shoulder, if I were to guess, right? And then gaku gaku is shaking. And so because this is the object particle, this is what's being shook. But anyway, I snapped back to my senses when he shook his either fat or fertilizer, depending on how you interpret it. It's probably shoulders. Takeshi? Written out in hiragana. It's like he said it slowly or something.
お俺だ大丈夫か
Yeah, it's me. Are you okay? Takeshi Danger, I believe.
え
Eh? It is bad to stay here. We have to run away quickly. This is kind of goofy because it's Tsugumi's perspective. It's weird because it's like, what does she expect to happen? And how would she interpret this? I never figured out what she was expecting to happen in the situation. In the original game, it seems like she was like, oh, there's no danger at all. Like, I know you're not going to do that to me again. Which is interesting. This here is weird. Because she says, in order to get the tiger's cub, you have to go in the tiger's nest. Although, I seem to vaguely recall her saying in the original game, too. But things are collapsing, the water overflowing, someone seriously injured.
何言ってんだわけわかんねえよ
What are you saying? I don't get it. Let's run away. Run away! Hurry! Run away! I continue muttering deliriously. Oh, this is the first kanji got messed up. Let's see if I can do that. No, it just makes the in part more aggressive. Okay. Ah, perfect. Fear and impatience are growing stronger and stronger.
落ち着けよ落ち着けって
Calm down, calm down.
どいて
Get out of the way. An impact pierces through my left cheek.
落ち着きなさい
Okay, this is also calm down, but it's like please, right? Yeah, it's kind of like a polite calm down. Will I smack you? My heart stops beating. It's actually the wrong stuff. Oh, phooey. Which one of them is heart? Is it the middle one? No, it just means greatness. Huh. Okay. So it's something like heart stops, but it's not exactly that. Don't quote me on it. The shock just now is enough to blow away my fear. Holding my aching cheek, I looked up at Tsugumi. Of all places to hit somebody, I would avoid the head, but whatever, Tsugumi. It's basic principles that the head is the thing that heals the least, if you get what I'm saying. It's like you do more permanent damage if you hit in the head compared to anywhere else.
あなたはもういいわ
Basically, enough with you. And like kind of rude. Or like you've done enough. Tsugumi pointed to the door. Eh?
わからない作業の邪魔だって言っているの
You understand? I'm saying you're in the way of my work.
なあそれはちょっと言い過ぎだろ少年は帰り方ヒステリーなんだろそれでちょっとパニックを起こしたんだよ
Hey, that's taking a little bit too far, isn't it? He has a dissociative type of hysteria, doesn't he? That's why he panicked a little.
あなたは黙ってて
It's like, you shut up, right? Yeah, you stay quiet.
いいパニックは伝染するわこんな時に集団ヒステリーとか起こされたら迷惑なの
Panic is contagious, you know. It would be a bother if we all got mass hysteria or something like that at a time like this. That's a weird way for her to say it. Okay.
それにこんな状態が頻発するようなら、きっと今につまらないミスを犯すに決まっているわ。
Besides, if this keeps happening, I'm sure he'll make a stupid mistake. Eventually, it's like any minute now. Like he'll very soon make some silly mistake.
あなただってこんな場所で事故なんて起こされたくないでしょ。
You don't want to have an accident in a place like this, do you?
まあそうだけど。
Well, that's true, but...
ということだから、あなたはここから出て行って。
That's why you get out of here. You exit. Understood. So, because we lose our perspective person, we don't get to see how this shit scene ends, I guess. I mutter to myself and trudge toward the exit. My steps are heavy and I head back down the deserted passage. I never understood, like, I don't understand, like, Segumi's perspective on that, because she's like, well... I mean, I presume that she thinks he's just acting. And then he knows everything, and he's acting. But that it's not going to happen again? It's weird. My steps are heavy, and I head back down the deserted passage. For some reason, I felt lonely. That's what happens when Sugumi rejects you, basically. I was thinking of resting in the break room, but... Okay, this is more loneliness, right? Perhaps I'm lonely, because before I knew it, I was heading to the control room. Oh, this is how they're pulling this off. Okay, game. Okay, new writers. You decided to have, like... You tried to double it up. That's kind of clever. Because you tried to, like, okay, we're going to make the kid be in the room on the Takeshi side. Then we're going to have the kid be in the room on the kid's side so we can capture what goes on in there. And then still have the you part happen by just making the seat longer. And utilize the whole Tsugumi telling the kid to just sit in the corner and just modify that to just leave so that he can actually go to the control room and meet you doing whatever she's doing. Interesting. Interesting way to do that. Not necessarily wrong. This is why doing this is kind of exciting, even if you've already played the game, right? It is played the original PC game. Like, how are they going to mess with this? Oh. That doesn't really translate to anything. When I entered the control room, a strange voice rang out. Geez, cries of frustration.
なんでいつもこれが出るわけ?
Why does it always produce this message, right?
パスワードが違いますって同じセリフ。あんたは休館長の Q ちゃんか。
Wrong password? That's the same line. Are you Q-chan for Kukanandori? Basically, wait, I put in a different wrong password, and only say that you said that was different is that you didn't say anything different, you said the password was wrong.
そう、上等じゃない。こうなったら、あんたを叩き壊してあげましょうか?
Referring to the computer with Anta written in katakana. That's right, it's fine. If it has come to this, I will destroy you.
って言ってもやっぱりちゃんと解読するしか手はないか。空もパスワード教えてくれないし。
Yeah, but still, I guess I have no choice but to decipher it properly. Sora won't tell me the password either. As she said that, you gazed at a piece of paper. Oh, we're doing this already.
解読しようにもその方法が何にも全く思いつかない。
We're already doing this, so we're only on the morning of day 3. Interesting. Even if I try to decipher it, I can't think of a single way to do it.
ぼちぼち頭も電池切れかしら。今すぐコーヒーが飲みたい。
I wonder if the battery's dead too. I want to drink coffee now. It's want to, right? I wonder if my brain's batteries are dead. I want to drink coffee now. Or, yeah, something like that. My brain is out of charge. You yelled at me? No, it's not at me. So that's at the console probably. You was yelling, so we're gonna get the whole coffee thing going. Looking around the control room, I noticed a self-service coffee machine in the control room. Yep, this is happening too. I took out... She took out a disposable... Oh, no, it's... Oh, she was really yelling at... It's Boku wa, so it is I. I, the kid, took a disposable paper cup, put the coffee in the cup... Oh. Put the cup in the coffee thing, and then press the coffee button.
糖分が足りないのよ。脳みそが糖分を欲してるのよ。
I don't have enough sugar. My brain wants sugar. I poured 3 bags worth of sugar into the paper cup and stirred it with a spoon, as opposed to a coffee straw. Yes, coffee. Then I handed her the coffee.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, but in katakana. Thank you with a Japanese accent where you can't say tha, so you say sa. You took the coffee from me and drank it like she was having a fight. Yes, as if she were fighting.
この歯にしみるような甘さが脳に染み渡っていく。
What? The tooth-stimulating sweetness seeps into my brain. No, tooth-staining. Okay. With a slightly hollow expression, you turned her head with a crackling sound. More to use joint cracking. Huh? Her spinning head stops in my direction.
少年、あんた いつからいたの？
Kid, how long have you been here? Ever since you said Wakite? Let's see. I think it started with you yelling that. Ukite.
恥ずかしいところ見られちゃったわね。うかつだったわ。
That was embarrassing. I was careless.
あれ？
Huh? Suddenly you looked at me curiously.
おお、これは見事なもみじだわ。
This is splendid. Google Translate says, "What a beautiful maple tree." Interesting. Momiji? What's a momiji? I guess Google Translate decided that was a maple tree. But apparently it's not supposed to mean anything. Oh, the slap mark on his cheek. Okay. I casually touched my cheek. Ow. I should have remembered from the Takeshi side, that's what that meant. It's like, that sounds familiar. What is that? Oh yeah, it's the cheek slap. That's right, Tsugumi hit me with all her might.
すごいわね。ここまで立派なのって初めて見たわ。
I don't think she hit you with all her might. If she did that, you would probably be dead. But, whatever. It might be your impression. It's amazing. I've never seen anything that impressive. Is it really that amazing?
すごいわよ、真っ赤っかで。5本の指が一本一本はっきりくっきりわかるもの。
It's amazing. It's bright red. I can clearly see each of the 5 fingers.
で、少年、あんたマヨに何したの？
How would Tsugumi's long fingers, be able to, all imprint on the kid's relatively small face? Doesn't make sense. So, young man, what did you do to Mayo?
マヨに叩かれたんでしょ？
Mayo hit you, didn't she?
さあ、白状しなさい。一体何をしたの？
Come on, confess. What did you do? What? What'd you say?
まあ、若い男女が二人きり。物陰で修理を始めて、あたりに人影もない。
Well, it's just a couple of nasty men and women that started repairs in the shadows and there was no one around.
そんなシチュエーションじゃ、欲求不満の少年がハレンチな欲望に駆られたってのも無理からの話よね。
Well, maybe this conversation won't get to the point where we'll decipher the password yet because we got derailed by the slapping thing. That kind of situation, it's understandable that a frustrated boy was driven by shameless desires. No, you're wrong. Sorry I didn't do that. Tsugumi hit me.
つぐみに？あんた、つぐみにそんなことしたの？少年ってお姉さん属性だったわけ？
You did that to Tsugumi? Do you have an older sister complex, right? Which is basically just means older person complex.
今ここには私と少年の二人きり。私大ピンチじゃない！
Oh, it's just me and the boy here right now. I'm in big trouble. I'm in a big pinch, to be more exact. Yo!
冗談よ。それで少年、つぐみに何したわけ？
I'm kidding. So, what'd you do to Tsugumi, boy? Actually, I tell you all how it happened. But we couldn't figure out how to write how I would say how I would word that, and so we just didn't write it. What I saw and the fear I felt.
なるほど。
I see.
じゃあ、少年の見た事故の起きたイメージの場所と修理していた部屋って同じに見えたってことね。
So the room you were repairing looked as the same as the place the accident occurred in, right?
そういえば少年ってマヨと初対面なのに前にどこかで会ったことがあるようなことを言っていたわよね。
Kind of think of it, this is the first time you've met Mayo, but you said you met her somewhere before. You're time traveling in a loop. Oh no. You're in Ever17. It felt more like I knew her than I did when I met her. It's more like I felt like I knew her when I met her. Rather than saying I met her, I felt like I knew her.
同じに見えた部屋、知っているような人。
A room that looked the same, someone you knew.
それって記憶の錯覚、心理学でいう擬記憶ね。
Oh, the OCR hates this kanji. Oh yeah, oof. That's illusion of memories, what psychology calls deja vu, right? But good luck getting the kanji to work. Uh-oh. Deja vu?
わかりやすく言えばデジャブってことよ。
There we go. Written out in katakana. To put it simply, deja vu. Okay, so it is written differently. Okay, so it is a different word. Then it isn't... The word is not... It would be weird if you translate it. So... They probably did this in the Hirameki translation. They had some fancy name for it. And she says, in other words, deja vu. But I wasn't able to really translate the fancy name for it, so just presume it's like self-creating memory or whatever.
単なる記憶の再生エラーってとこ。人間が出来事を記憶するときって見たまま全てを丸ごと記憶するわけじゃないの。
It's just a memory regeneration error. When humans remember events, they don't remember everything just by looking at it.
いろんな要素ごとに分類されて別々のフォルダーに保管されているの。思い出すときってこれらの情報をかき集めて再構築してるわけ。
It doesn't happen to me anymore. It happened when I was a kid. Like I'd experience something and I feel like, wait, I feel like this, I saw this happening before it happened. Like, yeah. It's classified by various elements and stored in different folders. When you remember, you collect and reconstruct those pieces of information.
思い出し再構築してるときに再生ミスが起きたり記憶違いが発生するってわけよ。
When you're remembering and reconstructing, there's a regenerative error, a memory error. Does that mean I've experienced something similar in the past?
まあそう考えるのが妥当よね。
It's reasonable to think of it that way. But I don't have any memories, you know, and that scene just hasn't happened yet, so I don't think I'll be able to ignore it. Oops.
まさか前世の記憶とか超能力とか第六感なんて言いたいわけ？
Don't tell me you're trying to say something about memories from your past life, psychic powers, or a sixth sense.
やめてよね。私はオカルトが大嫌いって言ったでしょ。
Stop it, okay? I told you I hate the occult, didn't I? But isn't this a prediction? But if I say this, if I say that I can see a future, you will make fun of me as much as she wants. Wait, if I can say this, I can see a future where you will make fun of me as much as she wants? However, I could see a future where if I said this, you really would mess with me. Right, you're getting Ever17 in that way. This isn't a prediction, but something else. You won't find out until we get to the last route. I decided to change the subject. What are you doing?
まあ異変の察知に備えていたんだけど、異変が起きたらアラームでわかるし、それでちょっと野暮用を済ませてたのよ。
Well, if I were prepared for something unusual to happen, but if something strange happened, I could tell by the alarm. That's why I'm doing some minor business. What do you want?
調べ物だよ。
Something to investigate.
私前に言ったことあったよね。私がレミューのバイトを始めたきっかけ。
I was told you before, didn't I? It's a trigger for me to start working part-time at Lemieux.
行方不明になったお父さんの手がかりを探してるって。
I said I was looking for clues about my missing father.
私は17年前にいなくなったお父さんの手がかりを求めてレミューにやってきたの。
I came to Lemieux in search for clues about my father who disappeared 17 years ago. Last time your father was seen was this Lemieux, right? Could it be that you was researching?
そう。
It is true. You nods and swished the cup of coffee in her hands.
お父さんについての情報よ。
Information about my father.
今から17年前、
17 years ago.
ここで大きな事故が起きたらしいの。
There was a big accident here. That is correct, actually. An accident? For a moment, the image of the accident I caught a glimpse of earlier flashed in my mind, but this is a different one. So the weird, like, ironic truth in these things.
私もよくは知らないんだけどね。
Yeah, I don't really know either.
何しろ当時のニュースを調べてもほとんど何もわからないの。
After all, when I look up the news at the time, I don't know much about it. Or it doesn't say much about it. What do you mean?
事故の原因、具体的な被害状況、その後の経緯、どれも曖昧な報道のされ方で。
The The cause of the accident, the specific damage, the details of what happened after that, everything was reported in a warm way. Or a fuzzy way.
要するにマスコミも詳しいことは知らなかったんじゃないのかな。
In other words, the media probably doesn't know the details.
何か大きな力で情報が封じられてたってことね。
It means that the information was sealed away because of something big. Something big? A big power, right? Yeah, something, a big, powerful thing.
17年前の謎に包まれた事故。
The accident engulfed in mystery 17 years ago.
17年前に行方不明になったお父さん。
My father went missing 17 years ago.
そしてお父さんは事故の直前までここで働いていた。
And my father worked here until just before the accident.
これらのことから推測できることは、
I can only guess from these things. Does that accident have something to do with Yu's father's disappearance?
そういうこと。
That's how it is.
ここにはレミにはお父さんの痕跡が残ってるはず。そう思って私はやってきた。
Here, Lemieux must have left traces of my father. That's why I came here.
でも実際に働き出してみるとそんなことを調べる余裕なんてなくて。
But now that I've actually started working, I didn't have the luxury of investigating something like that.
それどころかレミのデータベースには近づくことすらできなかったの。
On the contrary, I couldn't even get close to Lemieux's database.
ま、当たり前なんだけどね。私の考えがこのコーヒーのように甘かったってこと。
Actually, in the original game, doesn't the old you actually say this to Takeshi? That specific set of lines? Well, it's only natural. My thoughts are as sweet as this coffee. You leaned back in her chair, her back creaking, and drank the cold, sweet coffee in one gulp.
でもね、ついにチャンスが訪れたの。
But you know, at last the chance has come. Chance? Written down in katakana. Could it be about this accident?
そうよ。
Right. No, he's like, no, I mean like the now accident. You places the coterie and the cup next to the console. Yeah, that's right, it's kotori. But what does kotori mean? Google Translate doesn't know either. That's funny. Okay.
私はこうして今レミに触れてる。
I'm touching Lemieux right now.
もちろん ID カードを探してきてくれたマヨのおかげでもあるんだけどね。
Of course, it also thanks to Maya, who was looking for an ID card. Or found an ID card.
事故が起きたおかげで私は晴れて目的に近づけるようになったの。
I think looking for and found are actually like the same word in Japanese, which is weird to me, but I guess, because it's like, there's a lot of difference between those. One is success and one is failure. Thanks to the accident, I was able to clear my mind and get closer to my goal. Also clear
ま
my
あ
schedule.
そのおかげでこうして命の危機にさらされてるわけなんだけどね。
Well, it's thanks to that my life is in danger like this. You shrugged. So that's more confirmation that that kanji means shoulders. And laughed. So, did you learn anything from the actual investigation?
それがまだ家に上がろうとしてるけど玄関先ですっ転んでる状態なのかな。
Still trying to go up to the house, but I wonder if she's in a state of slipping and falling in front of the entrance. That's more like I'm trying to go to the house, but I'm afraid I'm in a state of slipping and falling in front of the entrance. Yeah. So then, is it still I'm at the house, but I slip and fall at the entrance? Said it like 3 times in various different ways. The front door?
これよ。
Oh, I forgot about this CG. Okay. Well, this is an appropriate time to use it. This is it. Saying that, you turned her attention to the monitor. A single window was open on the monitor. You glared at the screen and began to explain.
これはね、ネットワークに接続するための認証画面なの。
This is the authorization screen to connect to the network. Nin Shoga Gomin. Well, Gomin is like an apology. What is the meaning of either network or um
接続しようとしてるユーザーがシステム側で許可された人間かどうかを判定する画面ってこと。
or something else? There's obviously not like an English equivalent to that, right? It's a screen to determine whether or not the user trying to connect is authorized by the system. It's like I understand, but I don't understand at all.
私はこれからレミデータベースの C レベル、要するに機密情報にアクセスしようとしてるの。
It's basically, he forgot what a computer is. I tried to access the classified information from the limited database. C level.
でもそんな重要なデータを誰それ構わず見ることができたら大変なことになるでしょ。
But if you can look at such important data without caring who it is, it would be a big deal, right? It would be trouble, wouldn't it?
だからこうしてここを覗こうとしているあなたは誰ですかってコンピューターが聞いてきてるの。
That's why the computer is asking me, who is it that's trying to peek in here? As she spoke, you twirled her mouse cursor around the input field labeled name in the window. It says Yuki Tanaka on it. That's interesting. So I might be remembering this wrong. I thought that you was trying to use her father's credentials and then switch to her mother's instead of her trying to use. Because here's what happened. The original, what happens is they figure out what the password is. They try to put in the password, and it turns out to be the wrong username at the very end, right? The password is correct, wrong username. I guess we're switching from Yuki. I forgot which one they switched to. It could be either way, I guess. Yeah, maybe it's Yuki didn't give her own password because Yuki doesn't have a password, right? Like she's already no longer has an account. The person the person we see in the CG here, thinks is Yuki Tanaka is actually Yubisai Harukana Tanaka. And so if she wanted to use that account, she'd have to use that username instead. But Yoiki's account, for some reason, I think does work. I think that's how it goes. Even because Yoiki's account is only 17 years old, whereas Yuki's account would have been 34 years old, potentially.
当然、私の名前だとアクセスできるわけないから、こうやってアクセス可能な人間の名前を偽って入力するわけね。
Depending on if Yuki quit Lamu when she got married or when her first child was born or whatever. Of course, with my name, there's no way I can access it, so I'm going to falsify and input the names of people that can access it.
だけど、そんなことは誰だって考えついちゃうよね。
But anyone can think of something like that, right? Right?
当然、これを作った人だってバカじゃないから、それを防止するために、本当に本人かどうか確認する方法が取られてるの。
Of course, the person who made this isn't an idiot, so in order to prevent that, there's a way to confirm whether I'm really her or not.
本当にあなたが田中幸恵ならパスワードを言いなさい。
If you really are Yuki Tanaka, then you tell me the password. Whoops.
わからない。
I accidentally skipped again. What's this say? Oh, pop. Is that how you say password in German? The cursor on the screen surrounds the column labeled password under the name entry, and it's still blank. Okay. The kid replies with, "So, what's the password?" And he's like, "That's what I'm thinking right now." And then the kid probably responds with, "Do you know it, right?" Yeah, well, it's like, you don't know question? And then you says wakaranai, which is I don't know. It could also mean I don't understand, depending on the context. So you haven't looked into anything yet?
調べてないっていうか、調べることができないっていうか。
I don't know if it's because I haven't looked into it or because I can't look into it. Use words followed a long sigh. I look at the monitor again. Yuki Tanaka. And my eyes lay on the spot labeled Yuki Tanaka. So use pretending to be someone with this name, trying to connect to the network. Hey, you?
何？
What? Simple question, but who is Yuki Tanaka? It's written with kanji, right? So it's the translator reversed it. It's Tanaka written in kanji, and then Yuke. No, it's Yuki. Yeah, Yuki written in hiragana. It's not Yukie, it's Yuki. Is it?
私のお母さんよ。
I now doubted myself. Because elongates O, right? Does A elongate E or does E elongate A? I think E elongates A, so it's actually Yukie. Yukie. Well, whatever. She's my mother. Why would you ask your mother what the password is? Was your mother working here too?
いいえ、ちょっと違うわ。働いているの。現在進行形よ。
No, it's not quite right. She is working in the present tense. Yeah, who she thinks is her mom is still working here. Well, she kind of is her mom. Yu's mother is studying archaeology, right? I think you said that yesterday.
そうよ。
That's right. Huh? I just couldn't connect archaeology to the theme park of Lamu. Archaeology and theme parks have nothing to do with each other.
そう。私もそう思うんだけど、ここって幻の大陸レムリアの展示物ってあるじゃない？
Yeah, I think so too. But isn't this the exhibit of the... I presume it's like the great civilization of Lemuria? But isn't there an exhibit here of the legendary Great Lemuria?
それでレムリア大陸の遺跡を調査してるらしいわ。
That's why she's investigating the ruins of the Lemurian continent.
で、海底に沈んだ遺跡が発掘されて、
And the ruins that sank to the bottom of the sea were excavated.
ライプリヒ製薬はその遺跡こそレムリアが存在したことの証だみたいなことをまことしやかにそれとなく流布してるの。
Huh? So, let's get rid of that B. The Lieblich. It's Lieblich. The Lieblich ruins are proof that Lemuria existed. And people are spreading the idea that it's true. But there's a wrong kanji in there. So it may not be exactly that.
海底遺跡の発掘調査プロジェクトにも多額の資金を投入してる。
So Lieblich claims them. We found the ruins. They, right, have investigated a lot of money into excavation and research projects at the bottom of the ocean ruins.
何を企んでんだか知らないけどさ。
Oh, I see. I don't know what they are planning. Yu's mother was involved in that project?
詳しいことは知らないけど、そうみたいね。
I don't know the details, but it seems so.
でも多分ふりをしてるだけだと思う。
But I think she's probably pretending.
お金だけもらって実際には別のことを研究しちゃってるんだ。
She gets paid, but I think she's actually researching something else. Something else?
第三視点という研究。
She published papers on the third eye. Or a study on the third eye. The third eye, basically.
昨日も話したでしょ？
I told you yesterday, didn't I? Lullaby. Oops. It's a lullaby. Interesting.
そう、子守歌よ。
Yes, a lullaby. Guess it's like a children's thing. So what's the third eye that Yu's mother is researching?
要点を簡単にまとめていっちゃうと、
To sum up the main points simply, and that's about it, right?
N 次元上の全体像は N プラス1次元内から俯瞰することによってのみ認識することができる。
Oh, or is the big speech going to come from you since it didn't happen from Sora? The entirety of the n-dimensional world can only be recognized by looking at it from the nth dimension, n plus 1th dimension. Think about this. So, I'm not sure you actually, because what she's referring to is a concept called embedding, right? But I'm not sure that one extra dimension allows you to embed. But embedding only is only something that pertains to curved things. What does viewing even mean? What does the concept of viewing something mean? Oh well. Oh, it's real complicated. Okay. Well, I'll not get into that. Got to Nash embedding stuff. Yes. It didn't sound easy at all.
要するに私たちは4次元的な視覚を得ることで初めてこの世界の全貌が知覚できるのだと。
In other words, we can perceive the entirety of this world from the fourth dimension by gaining four-dimensional vision.
まるで第三の目が開眼したかのようにね。
It's as if the third eye It was as if the third eye had been opened. What does she mean by that? Are you talking about the thing you were talking about yesterday? The human degenerate organ? What was it called again?
違うそっちじゃなくて。
No, not that.
ここで言う第三の目っていうのは超能力のような力の方。
The third eye I'm talking about here is the power of psychic powers.
例えばヒンズー教のシバ神の額にある第三の目、ヨガでいう眉間のチャクラ、アジナーチャクラ。
For example, the third eye on the forehead of the god Shiva of Hinduism, the chakra between the brows called the Anjana chakra in yoga.
仙道における炭鉱法、密教において弘法大師が室戸岬で治めたという虚空蔵菩薩愚問寺法。
Tan Koho in Sindo, Kyozu Bosatsu Go Minjiho in esoteric Buddhism, which is said to have been practiced by Kobo Daishi at Muruto Kape.
チベット密教などで言われる天元痛。
These exactly what these are probably doesn't matter that much, right? The eye of Atamoni said in Tibetan esoteric Buddhism and so on. So much Eastern religion. The number of words rushed at me like a surging wave. I was completely left behind.
昨日も言ったと思うけど、
I think I told you yesterday, but
第三の目が開眼すると真の知恵が湧き、万物を見通すことができるらしいの。
when the third eye opens, true wisdom will be revealed, and it will be able to see through all things.
そんなものが本当にあるとしたらの話だけどね。
If something like that really exists, that is. So, use Mother as researching an old concept called the third eye. Are they done fixing the pipes yet? To obtain it, you can see everything in this world? If you obtain it, you can see everything in this world? And the way you do that is by having a connection to the legendary third eye?
まあそういうことね。
Yeah, that's how it is.
お母さんに言わせれば第三の目という概念そのものが第三視点の一つだって言いかねないけど。
If you ask my mom, she might say that the very concept of the third eye is one of the three perspectives. If you ask my mother, she might even say that the very concept of the third eye is a third perspective. I don't really get it. How can you see the entire world when you have four-dimensional vision? Why do we need four-dimensional vision? In fact, we're looking at the world like this. We see the world the way we do. Third eye and the third point of view. I don't see the connection between the fourth dimension and the third eye. I don't understand the relationship with the fourth dimension either. We're gonna get diagrams or something? I don't know what to say. That's when Sora appeared in the control room.
おっと、空。
Whoa, Sora. Is Sora gonna explain it in the kid's side? Is that how we're gonna... Is that how we're gonna do this? Flustered, you turned off the terminal.
田中さん、お疲れ様でした。修理が終わったみたいですよ。
Well, we're gonna eat. Tadaki-san, thank you for your hard look. It looks like the repairs are done. Oh.
そう、意外に早かったって。もうお昼じゃない。それじゃあ、みんなのために昼食でも準備しましょうか。
You're not gonna mess with the password paper yet? I thought Sora was gonna show up and be like, oh, I could explain the fourth dimension for you. Really? You're surprisingly excited. It's not dinner anymore. Well then, shall we prepare lunch for everyone? Not dinner anymore? What? You're so surprised at how excited you were. It's not evening yet. Should I prepare lunch for everyone then? Oh, Sora's like, let's eat. Huh? What are you talking in? What are you... Oh, I was looking into something.
いいから少年も来なさい。さあ、食料を取りに行きましょうか。
Just come with me, boy. Come on, let's go get some food. You dragged me out of the control room.
あ、お疲れ様でした。
Good work. Oh, thank you for your hard work. Oh, that's what you say when you leave, right? We leave work? Sorry, I watched this go in a daze. What's wrong? Why are you panicking all of a sudden?
空とかには、私がお父さんのことを調べてるのは内緒にしておきたいのよ。
I want to keep it a secret from Sora and the others that I'm investigating my father. Why?
だって、私って関係者とはいえ、何の権限もないただのバイトに過ぎないわけで。
Because they might be in cahoots with whoever's trying to hide what happened to them. I mean, they may not be involved, or they may be involved. But I don't have any authority, I'm just a part-timer. Oh, I may be involved, but I don't have any authority, I'm just a part-timer.
そんな人間が事故のどさくさに紛れてレミューの機密事項に触れようとしてるんだよ。
That kind of person is trying to touch Lemu's classified information at the cover of a commotion of the accident.
普通ならこういうのを。
When normally you do something like this. Normally something like this would be... a thief? An opportunistic thief.
そういうこと。これは情報窃盗罪っていう立派な犯罪なの。
That's right. This is a great crime called information theft.
けど、隠し通せるわけなかったかな。
But I don't think I could have kept it a secret.
なんたって、空にはレミの動きが手に取るようにわかるわけだから。
After all, you can see Lemi's move. Sora can see Lemi's movements. I presume. If you tell the truth, I think she'll understand.
そうなんだけど、やはり人間、後ろめたいことするときってこそこそしちゃうのよね。
That's true, but when humans do something they feel guilty about, they do it in secret. While we were having that conversation, we headed off to procure ingredients. Can I forget, what do you do for the rest of the day? After we procured the ingredients, we started preparing lunch. But shouldn't we move right away?
腹が減っては戦はできぬって言うでしょ。
They say you can't fight on an empty stomach, right? But... or we're gonna go down to the 3rd floor sooner. That might be how this works. I was about to voice my unease. Then I remembered that Tsugumi had slapped me and I stopped talking. Well. She's not here, though. Instead, I lined up plates for the number of people on the table. You lighted the whole lettuce on the plate one by one. We're gonna get the lettuce thing already? I took out various seasonings from the shelf and placed them on the table. You noisily opened the lid of the I presume it's supposed to be kanshime. No, kanzume. I put condiments? Oh, with a loud pop. Huh. Might be with a loud pop. No. Well, whatever. That's the noisily part. Just as the preparations were finished, Takeshi and others returned.
お、昼飯ができたのか。
Oh, lunch is ready. I couldn't see Tsugumi among them, so I was relieved.
あれ、つぐみは？
Tsugumi?
なんでも、ちょっと気になることがあるからとか言って、どっか行っちまった。
There's something that bothered her, so she went away. Takeshi spread his arms wide in exasperation. Well, we didn't know when Tsugumi would be back, so we decided to eat first.
バリバリバリ。シャリシャリシャリ。
Pari pari.
バリバリ。しかし、レタス丸ごとっていうのはな、なんか、虫かウサギにでもなった気分だな。
Still calling it a whole lettuce makes me feel like I've turned into an insect or a rabbit.
そこ、文句言わない。せっかくみんなのためにと思って料理を用意しといたんだからね。
Don't complain about that. I went out of my way to prepare food for everyone.
いや、しかし、これを料理と言われてもな、とても料理には見えないぞ。
Well, if you call this cooking, it doesn't look like cooking at all, you know. Also, iceberg lettuce basically has no nutritional value. So, this is a very useless meal.
ナッキュ先輩の料理はいつもワイルドなんです。
Nakyu's cooking is always wild. Sarah said that as she poured ketchup on the lettuce. She just shows up, okay? What business do you have? Just then the door of the restroom opened and Tsugumi appeared.
お、つぐみ、戻ってきたな。お前の分の昼飯もあるぞ。食え食え。
Tsugumi, you're back. There's food for you too. Eat, eat. Tsugumi's like, shut up. Tsugumi glanced at the table and took an empty seat.
食事ってこれ？まあいいわ。
Food? This? Well, whatever.
シャリシャリシャリシャリ。
And starts eating the lettuce. Because Tsugumi doesn't really care. She just eats it. It's like garbage. She's like a garbage disposal, apparently. At least in the original game. They haven't really done that in the remake. Then Tsugumi grabbed the lettuce and bit into it.
なんだかハムスターにでもなった気分だわ。
I feel like I've become a hamster.
そういえばつぐみ、お前どこ行ってたんだ？
I kind of think come to think of it, Tsugumi. Where have you been?
別にちょっと気になるところを見てきただけよ。まあ取り越し苦労だったけど。
I just happened to see something that bothered me. Well, it was a bit of a struggle. So she went to the room above the room they fixed the pipes in? That's a possibility. Tsugumi glanced at me as she said that. Oh, yeah.
さっきはごめんなさい。私もちょっと混乱していたみたいね。
I'm sorry for earlier. It seems I was a little confused too. Huh. No, I'm really sorry for what happened back then. Huh. Wheels turned. Tsugumi and I looked at each other and then smiled naturally. That's when it happened. What happened? Oh. Nothing. Oh, well, won't translate that for some reason. Sora suddenly appeared in the room.
皆さん緊急事態です。手近なものに捕まって衝撃に備えてください。早く。
And there's like oxygen problems, right? Everyone's emergency. Grab something nearby and prepare for impact. Hurry up. So it happens, but there's a delay. Sora shadows a tense expression.
おい、そら、いきなりどう？
Sora, how'd you do that all of a sudden? When Takeshi left the words with that question. When Takeshi uttered those words, the game shook. A tremendous shock assaults the rest of the room. The whole room creaks and screams. Then Tsugumi be like, I get it now. I feel like the room is being torn apart.
ちょっと何が起きたのよ。
It's like Tsugumi contemplation face. I feel like the room's being torn apart. Oh, no, this is your use line. And it's like, wait, what's going on? Oh, wait, what? Wait, what happened?
まさかこれって
Don't tell me this is. Yeah, oh, okay. Ooh.
あー
The room continued to shake like a small boat in a storm. I desperately clung to the table fixed to the floor. The shaking gradually gets smaller. Before I know it, it's as if it were before. It stopped, right? Before I knew it, it stopped.
みんな無事か
Is everyone okay?
なんとか
Somehow.
とりあえず
Something that translates to anyway? Oh, for now. I'm okay.
よかった
Thank goodness.
それでソラ一体何が起こったんだ
What happened, Sora?
それがメタンハイドレードのプラント内で爆発が起こり火災が発生しました
Well, there was an explosion inside the methane hydrate plant and a fire broke out. When I heard those words, that scene came to mind again. And I'm just gonna skip stuff, because we already done this. After that, we moved to the control room to learn more about the situation.
シャフトの歪みが発生した時メタンハイドレードのプラント内でメタンガスの漏出が起きていたようです
When the shaft warped, there was a leak of methane gas in the methane hydrate plant.
このブロックのセンサー類の一部に不具合が発生していたためガスの漏出が見落とされていました
Because some of the sensors in the block were malfunctioning, gas leaks were overlooked.
漏出したガスが破損によりむき出しになっていた配線に触れたことにより起爆火災が発生しました
The leaking gas touched the exposed wire due to damage. Detonation and fire broke out.
火災はすぐに消火装置が働いて鎮火しました幸いなことに被害が大きかったのは私たちのいるブロックの反対側なので近辺で目立った被害はありません
The fire was extinguished immediately by the fire extinguishers. Fortunately, the damage was severe on the other side of the block than the one we're in, so no noticeable damage in this area.
ただ事故により浸水エリアが増えたためドリットシュトックへ向かうルートすべてが現在封鎖されています
However, because the number of flood areas has increased due to the accident, all routes to Dritte stock are currently closed.
ということは俺たちに残された選択肢は救助を待つのみかだけどここなら食料も水もあるし時間もあと5日あるんだろなんとかなるさ
Which means that the only option left for us is to wait for rescue. But we have food and water here, so we have 5 days left, right? We'll manage somehow.
そのことなのですが今回の事故による影響を含めた施設の崩壊時間の再計算を行ったのですが
About that, I recalculated the time of collapse of the facility, including the effects of the accident.
崩壊時間は残り約91時間に早まりました
The time of collapse is about 91 hours earlier.
残り91時間
Or has been reduced to 91 hours. 91 hours left.
それって本当なの
Is that true?
はい 3日後の AM7 時前後にこのレミューは崩壊します。
Yes, 3 days from now, around 7 a.m., Lemu will collapse.
くそ、勘弁してくれ。
Damn it, give me a break. Takeshi is holding his head with both hands, except not the sprite.
手詰まりかな。
Maybe... Oh. This is... unfortunate. Oh yeah, there you go. We're stuck, I guess. You murmured as she pressed her hand to her temple.
そら、外部との連絡はどうなっているんだ？
Sora, how about communicating with the outside world?
引き続き現状可能な通信で SOS は発信しています。受信もすべてのチャンネルをオープンにしてあります。
SOS is still transmitting through all current possible channels. Our calls are open to receive transmissions.
それじゃあ、スキャン不可能な場所で通れる可能性があるルートを探すことってできるか？
So can we find a route that might lead to an impossible to scan location?
わかりました。調べてみます。
Understood. I'll look into it. With that, Sora headed for the terminal.
ありがとう、ソラ。
Thank you, Sora. During Sora's report, I was thinking about the accident. At that time, there was no accident. But there was another accident. Okay, it's not shoulder. This time I went to give you shoulder when there shouldn't have been a shoulder. No accident occurred that time. But there was an accident, I guess. But there was no injury. An accident occurred, but there was no injury. I think is what it's supposed to say. The details were different from what I saw, but the accident happened in the same way. That's better, that's more clear. It's as if fate had decided that from the very beginning. Is it just a coincidence? Or...
どうした少年？難しい顔をして。
What's wrong, old man? You look troubled. Takeshi.
大丈夫だって。俺たちは全員助かるって。絶対にな。
Don't worry, we'll all be safe no matter what. That's not what I was wondering
しか
about,
し、
whatever.
しばらくここで足止めか。人間じっとしてると落ち込んでくるからな。
Still, we're stuck here for a while, huh? Humans get depressed when they sit still.
そうだ少年。みんなでスーパーメクリンチョをやらないか？
Huh. Young man, why don't we all do Super no Kurim... What? What is that? Why don't we all play Super Memory? What is Super Memory?
それじゃあみんなで休息室に移動だ。ってつぐみとサラはいないのか？
Wait, let's all move to the break room. Wait, Tsugumi and Sara aren't here, right? They're not present. Yeah, they aren't here. Looking around the room, I couldn't see Sara or Tsugumi.
ユウだけか。まあいい。ユウもスーパーメクリンチョやらないか？
Oh, I was thinking you're gonna get to like the dramatic stuff here. You, the only one, huh? Oh well, you. Why don't you play Super Memory?
ピロピロピンポンドーンよ。
It's Piro. No, that's Ro, not Ru. Piro, Ping Pong Don.
まあいいか。それじゃ、ピロピロピンポンドーンをやろうぜ。
That voice actor actually said it. Well, whatever. Let's play Piro Ping Pong Don. With that, Takeshi patted me on the head and left the control room. So we're gonna walk in on Sara and Tsugumi having a spat. You and I follow Takeshi.
あなたが爆発の前にいたブロック、事故の被害はなかった場所ですし、爆発の原因になるようなものもなかったはずですが。
Okay, so this drama is actually pretty important, and hopefully I can get all the lines here. You were in the block before the explosion. There was no damage from the accident, and there shouldn't have been anything that could cause the explosion. Ah. Well, I could see how this works, right? So, Tsugumi, oh, this is I like this writing. This is good writing, right? This is perfect writing. Because for some reason Sara is really suspicious that Tsugumi is like setting all this up, which I don't know why, because why she would think it's all Tsugumi's fault. So Sara was supposed to be suspicious that everything is some weird setup experiment done on her, right? So the people around her, besides perhaps you, are like orchestrating, like doing some sort of puppet mastering, and they're just doing a bunch of fake stuff. Why does she think it's Tsugumi, though? Of all people. That's weird. Anyway, I thought, like, is that... Why is her suspicion of Tsugumi, her dark expression towards Tsugumi, her, like, hatred of Tsugumi come from that? As opposed to just, like, I think you might be my mom. Because she doesn't have that to someone... it's so weird. But anyway, after they fixed the pipes... and there wasn't a gas explosion, and the pipes did not, the disaster that occurred did not occur, Tsugumi went probably to the methane hydrate plant in order to see, like, why is this not blowing up? Which is really strange, because if it did blow up, just a little bit delayed, then she could have just got burnt to a crisp. But anyway, and it's like, oh, well, everything looks fine, leaves, then it blows up later, which means she like narrowly missed the gap. She like went right in the window between when it would blow up on the Takeshi side and when it blows up on the kid's side. It's like the worst time to go. And then Sara witnesses this and goes, "Oh, you walked to the methane hydrate plant, you came back, and then it blew up." Very.
へえ。あなたって人の行動を調べる趣味があるの？悪趣味ね。
Wow, do you have a hobby of investigating people's actions? That's bad taste. That's a bad hobby.
いいから答えて。
Are you a detective? That's a bad thing to be. You always end up in trouble. Just answer.
別に、ただ気になっただけよ。
I was just... It's probably like honestly, right? Nothing. I was just curious.
あなたは何か隠していますね。いろんなことを。
You're hiding something. A lot of things.
この服のこと？別に何も隠していないわよ。厚着なのは単に肌が弱いだけ。
You mean these clothes? I'm not hiding anything. The only reason I'm wearing thick clothes is because my skin is weak. My skin is sensitive. Which is true. But I thought it was sensitive to light, though.
それとも、ジャンガリアンハムスターでも隠していると思った？
Or did you think I was hiding a Jungarian hamster?
ふざけないで！
Don't be ridiculous.
そういうあなたこそ何か隠しているんじゃない？
You're the one hiding something, aren't you?
例えばその服の下とか。
Like under those clothes, for example. Oof.
そういえばカバンの中も女子高生が持つにしては随分物騒なものよね。
Because remember, Sarah didn't say you're hiding something under your clothes, right? Sarah's just saying like you're hiding things, like just like in general, like what you know and and your actions, right? Whereas Sugumi made it about clothes, so it's like it's scary. It's like, what, you're gonna strip me? Yeah. Come to think of it, it's pretty dangerous for a high school girl to have her bag too. Yeah, what's in your bag? Have you seen the intro animation? Is there not a gun in there? Come to think of it, the things in the bag are pretty dangerous for a high school girl to be carrying, aren't they? How do you know what's in my bag?
どうして？
Why? And with that, we'll end this. Oh, yeah. Way better. Way better.